Welcome to Noteworthy by Gloria. This is Gloria, and today we're using background dies for quick, elegant cards. In our craft supplies, we all have stickers and die cuts that we haven't used for a while, so gather some of those supplies and I'm going to show you how to use them and make some quick, elegant cards. Today we're going to be using some steel background dies from Birch Press Designs. They're the circle dies, and as you can see, each layer the circles get progressively smaller. These dies do have a higher price point, but I'm going to show you more than one way that you can use them, and I think that makes them well worth the money. When you cut these dies out and then you layer them on top of each other, you get this 3D effect that's really, really pretty. And it's so elegant. I like to use it with tone on tone, but it looks great when you use different layers with different colors. Another way that you can use these dies is to actually put pop dots behind the circles and just to put them on your page that way. It's really cool, and I will show you how I got that effect. First of all, I'm going to cut out each layer of the dies using my Evolution. I love this machine. It's electronic and it gives me really good clean cuts every time. It's got a dial on the side of it, so you can just dial according to the attention that you need, whether you're going to be embossing, die cutting, or whatever. So it's really a nice machine. I'm just going to layer up the die as you would with the base plate, and then I'm putting my paper, and I'm actually using photo paper. You can see with the camera here that there's a little bit of a gloss, and I thought that that just added to elegance to the tone on tone of the project. And I went ahead, and after I die cut it, I just kind of slid it off and noticed that I kept the circles intact. Went ahead and got to die number 2, put it down on the plate, and then I went ahead and ran it through the machine again. I did this for each one of the 3 layers. And then you can take those layers, just stack them on top of each other with the smallest on the bottom, then the medium, and then the large on the top, and you have a beautiful layered look. After I die cut the background, I took the large die and I went ahead and just slid it off very carefully and put it on my tabletop, and I put pop dots on the back of each one of the circles. Then I removed the backing paper from each one of those dies, and it was ready to adhere to my cardstock. I'm using Neenah 80-pound cardstock today. Now once I die cut everything and I got my adhesive on the little circles, then I removed the backing papers and got it ready to adhere to my A2 size cardstock. And for this I'm using Neenah 110 pound. And I just laid it down there and I pressed really good. Now, as you can see, whenever I turned this over, later on the video, you'll notice that one of the little pop dots didn't stay. No big deal, just put a little more pressure and it'll be fine. Those pop dots will hold the circles in place really well. I then very, very carefully took the background die and I started to remove it from the card. And as you can see, I just kind of held down on the top of the circles and just pulled them up really slightly. And it really came off very easily. This was really cool, and watching the effect as you do it, I really liked it and I thought it was really fun. Now remember, I told you earlier that you can take these background dies and layer them up. So what we're doing is we're going to use the positive space to make one card, and then we're saving the negative space that we pulled off, and that's what we're going to be using and layering to make another card. By using these dies and saving those pieces, you end up making several cards. And as you can see today, when you've got your die cuts and your stickers ready to go, this is a really quick way to make those elegant cards. Now I'm going to take that background die and I'm going to adhere that to another Neenah cardstock, size A2, 110 pound. And then I'm going to take each one of the dies and I'm going to layer them right on top of each other. And as you can see, I've got several backgrounds now that I have assembled, and I'm ready to get started with making my quick cards. In this tray, I have several things that I've just kind of been saving. This little bag has some owls that I cut out from a die cut, and oh gosh, I've had these quite a while, just left over from another project that I had. So I'm going to take the little owl and make sure that I've got all the little pieces cut out on him, and I'm going to lay him down on the front of the card. Now I have to apologize because I did get out of screen a little bit here, but we'll kind of get back in screen in a little bit. And I think you can still tell what I was doing here with the project, but I appreciate your patience, and I'll try to be a little more careful in the next film. Now, in digging in my stash, I also found some stickers that I had that said thank you, congratulations, happy birthday, and I really liked the elegance of the white on white for the background die, and then that stark black against that white background. I thought that was really pretty, especially when the stickers for the sentiment had gold foil. I'm going to adhere that sentiment next to the owl and then go on looking in my stash to see what else I could find. And I found a black doily with this white and black bird on the front, had a little bit of gold on the beak, and I thought that was really elegant. Notice how this is just the background that had the circles that were popped up. I thought this was simple, it was pretty, added my sentiment, and we were done with this card. Now for the next card, I was looking around to see what else we had, grabbed another background, and I had some little tags here that I had made from a previous project. Happened to have that black background, and as of course you can see all of the supplies that I had gathered all matched with black, and they had just a little bit of kind of a gold color on them, and then that bright yellow. So I knew that all of the supplies that I had coordinated. So all I had to do was just pick out some die cuts, pick out some flowers, see where I wanted the placement to be, and go ahead and adhere the pieces in what I thought was a good place for them. Liked the little butterfly, just stuck it on the corner, and again, a very simple card, add a sentiment, and you're good to go. Now with this card, I found a really pretty simple script that said congratulations. I really liked it, so I added it to the little tag that I had. And in my stash, I also had some bumblebees. And that little yellow bumblebee I thought just was perfect to add to that tag. Now on the next card, I had one of the layering backgrounds. And I went ahead to see, okay, what else do I have in my stash that is going to go on this card? Again, all of the pieces coordinate. So when you have those extra pieces in your stash, save them. You never know when you're going to need to throw together a bunch of cards that you can save in your stash to send out to people. And when all of your pieces coordinate, it makes it so much easier to just put them on your card. I found this little bird and I thought he was so pretty, and so I went ahead and just stuck him right down there and then started looking for what sentiment do I want to go on this card. What do I want him to say? And happy birthday fit perfectly right in between those dots. Looked like the bird was saying happy birthday, and I thought that was just perfect. So I took my tweezers, got it ready, and stuck it right down next to the bird. And again, bingo, finished card. I decided that I wanted to add just a little bit extra to this card, so I found another little bitty tiny bird, and I decided to sit him right on top of the happy birthday sentiment. Now with this card, I went ahead and decided I was going to use some of these flowers with a little more of the black. And I found this darling little bird with some polka dots in him, and I liked the texture with the circles in the background, the polka dots on the bird, the circle kind of format of the flower. I thought that all kind of tied in together, and of course I loved that real dark against the white background. So I went ahead and assembled those and stuck them on the bird, And now I'm going to add a sentiment, and we'll be finished with this one. I decided to go ahead and add another little bumblebee to the right of the sentiment, congratulations. I thought it would bring out a little bit of the yellow in with the flower and kind of balance that. And so I just added that right next to that sentiment. Now for my next card, I had some die cuts with black circles that again I had used on a previous project, and I just happened to have 3 of them left over. I like to use things in kind of odd numbers, so I thought, well, I'm going to use these. I considered using the black doily, but for some odd reason it just didn't seem to work right for me for this particular card. So I decided to go with just the 3 flowers, and I adhered them to the front of the card, but as you can see I kind of overlapped them a little bit. I wanted them to look more like they were actually growing out in the wild rather than just pieces of cardstock that had been glued to the front of that card. So you will see that there's some overlapping there. Now I selected a butterfly that matched with the black and the white again, and I decided to put that up in the top right hand corner. And then I looked for my sentiment to see which one I wanted to use for this particular card, and went ahead and adhered it. Now I'm going to go back and let's review the cards that we made today. We had all of the die cuts matched, so if you wanted to use these, you could put them in a small gift box with a ribbon or something, and you could have a really nice gift set that you could give to someone, or you could use them obviously as just individuals. But notice as we look at each one of the cards that some of them have the layered backgrounds and some of them have the circles that have been popped up. I thought they turned out very pretty. Supplies will be listed below should you want to recreate any of these cards today. And of course, if you liked it, please subscribe. Don't forget to comment. I love to read them. And thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.